we gonna have a good time and keep you in the know. Let all your trouble go. In the know, in the know, in the know. In the know, in the know, in the know. In the know, in the know, in the know.
We have an In the Know song. I finally have an intro song, so we're playing it today. My brother did the track. My cousin did the vocals and everything.
So it's a family affair.
It's a family affair. It's a vibe. It's so y'all gotta get the app and listen in so you can hear the song.
Is it a gospel song?
It's just an In the Know song. It's like the opening of the show.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a faith-based kind of thing. It's just for
it's
listen to the radio show, but we'll be able to hear it on the
personality.
But yes, we are going to be going to YouTube, okay? So after Facebook, I will be giving you guys the YouTube channel so that way you can see not just the live show, but all of the shows that you have missed because there have been 20. Although 20, we turned 20 today. So that way you'll be able to see all the things that happen. Of course, while we're on live, you get to hear kind of that in-between conversations that happen, but we're gonna be doing a little bit of editing and stuff too, so we want to make sure the presentation as well, but we've got to go live. Okay. Put your headphones on. Mm-hmm. Can you hear okay? Can't nobody do it like Freddie. Freddie make you feel like a star.
That's institutional. Okay.
I want y'all to hear the song.
Let's come.
Hey. Uh-huh. What you think?
I love
you
it.
Like it?
Especially when you have your own song. Not everybody can have that.
Yes. My cousin did it in one night. Like she wrote it, did the vocals, everything.
You tell Cuz she really did.
Shout out to my cousin Adrian, all the way in Wilmington, North Carolina, baby. You did this song. Hey. We playing the whole track today, y'all, because it's the premiere of the song. We're going to edit it a little bit, but today we're going to let the whole thing ride.
I love it. How you know? I can tell. And you don't even have to say nothing. I know how you
Listen, when I got it, me and my daughter would just dance to it like 5 or 6 times.
I know your family is so proud of you.
Thank you. Almost done. We got a special part at the end of the song that I really want you to hear it. You're gonna be like, ah! Listen, everybody. Welcome to the In the Know radio show. In the Know turned 20 today. Woo! 20 episodes. Oh my goodness. And again, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Freddie Rhodes, for this incredible opportunity, and Mrs. Maiden and the Victory Station family. I have been having a ball, if you cannot tell, and hopefully you have been informed, you've been inspired, and a little bit of entertainment as well, as I join you on your Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. right here live in the studio. And so I am just so grateful to be here. Listen, 2025, we taking it up to another level
That's
as we
it.
continue every Saturday bringing you some of the best of Jacksonville's guests, whether it's an artist, whether it's a business owner, whether it's a politician. It is our goal that you are in the know and that you are thoroughly informed and empowered to do something for your city and beyond. So today, oh my gosh, it's such a special day because in the studio, I call her the first lady, okay? I know we have a mayor, we have all these other, church parishioners and pastors' wives and things, but this woman, okay, everybody in Duval County knows her. And if you don't, I don't know where you've been. There is something wrong with you. But we're going to help you out on today as we have none other than my friend. I get to call her
Oh,
friend.
absolutely,
Baby,
baby.
she is slayed today. Baby came through the door looking gorgeous always. But today, she just kind of slapped me in the face with all the beauty.
Baby, I just stopped for you.
Oh, she said she did it for me. So special. But I have in the studio Councilwoman Ju'Coby Pittman. Thank you for being here.
Oh, absolutely.
But I have to do my intro, okay? So everybody buckle up, all right? Councilwoman Ju'Coby Pittman is a proud native of Jacksonville, Florida, who has devoted her career to the advancement of city service, veteran advocacy, and innovative community development. Her public service has been guided by a simple philosophy: go out of your comfort zone to make a difference. Her leadership, experience, and vision, she believes, prepared her to continue a second term to serve on the Jacksonville City Council. Thank you, God. She understands that to effectively work on behalf of the citizens of District 10, it is her responsibility to understand the needs, serve as the voice of the citizens, and leverage her leadership skills with a hands-on approach to promote progress. She has served the Jacksonville community faithfully for more than 35 years. Councilwoman Pittman has been the CEO and president of the Clara White Mission for 30 years, and she continues the legacy of the founder, Dr. Eartha White, by being a nonprofit leader and an innovator in human service and anti-poverty advocacy. Community engagement has kept her at the forefront of Jacksonville's progress to develop programs that promote economic growth and neighborhood revitalization. She is the visionary behind the Clara White Mission's veteran services, vocational training program, job placement, affordable housing programs, and White Harvest Farms. She was featured on the NBC Today show for developing innovative training programs like the CWM Culinary Arts, Janitorial Construction Cleanup, Electrical and Environmental Safety and Agricultural Safety Training through the National Center for Construction, Education, and Research, and so much more. This is an edited version of this queen's bio, but wherever you are, clap it up, snap it up for Councilwoman Ju'Coby Pittman again.
Thank you. I was like, who is that?
That's why I love to do this, because those who are so rooted in the community and in whatever their mission is, you're doing so much you kind of forget all that you've done. And I don't know, sometimes we go through those modes of like, I'm not doing enough, I need to do more. But when we have these moments so you can hear all that you've done, you're like, I did deserve that vacation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did deserve that trophy.
Or you think, am I competing against myself? Or
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
But such an honor to be able to do a lot of those initiatives and just help people that look like me and you.
Yes, and it makes the difference. I mean, the longevity alone, 35 years. People don't stick with things long anymore. They get bored or burnt out or feel entitled to have more. And for you to be so dedicated is such a great model for especially the younger generation to say, it's not about the accolades, it's not about the money, it's for those who are living and breathing right now and those who will outlive you. So that way we're leaving something that we can be proud of. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you for being that model and that charge and that motivation for people like me and so many others.
Absolutely.
But thank you again for coming today. Okay. And we're going to have some fun. Talking with Miss Pittman today. So you're from Jacksonville. What schools did you go to?
So I went to high school to Terry Parker.
Oh,
and,
my rival.
Inglewood High School.
Okay.
I went to college at JU and EWU now.
Okay.
And, I've attended a lot of workshops and program initiatives just to help, one, self-care, and to be able to be mentors to many in the community, because I had great mentors, to help me. So it's kind of like paying it forward. Yeah. So I'm so glad to be here with you, as well as proud of you for all of the work that you have done, and knowing what your purpose is. And so that's what it's all about. Sometimes it takes time to find out where you're supposed to be or who you're supposed to be. But early on, I've always helped people. From my grandmother, she's one of those, she never had a chance to finish high school, but she was one of those women who was gracious and characterized as somebody you want to be in their life. Besides that, she cooked well. Come on.
That was the magnet that drew you in.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And, my mother as well, gave me good examples of what a woman should do and how you should give back and carry yourself, and what those skill sets that you have that you share with others. And, not everybody knows where they want to be right away. You think you want to be over there, but it's not until you get there. Exactly. And it's not what you think it is. Exactly. So you take the high side and then you just move on. But I've just been so fortunate. I don't consider being the CEO at Clara White Mission a job. It's definitely a mission that God has prepared me for. And so I am glad he selected me.
So glad. We are so grateful too. What is your earliest memory of community service? Because it sounds like from a child, again, the models that you had through your mom and your grandma, that this was something that kind of innately was in you. But what would you say is your earliest memory of you being in this role of kind of giving back to the community?
Well, it's really, really crazy that you asked that, and you don't think about it until either somebody reads something about you or you're having a conversation. So very early on, as I've always been in church, or I've been volunteering, at school, I was always the one that would speak up for people. And so when it was time to volunteer and do events out in the community, my first event, or I should say my first volunteer that I did in the community was I used to go to Eartha White's nursing home. Had no idea who she was. Somebody at my church told me that, maybe it would be a good experience for me to go to the Eartha White nursing home. And I went there. Oh my God, I had the best time because there were a lot of seniors that was there, didn't have family members to come see them, right? And so I did that for about a year. I was in 8th grade. And so what I would do is either go comb their hair or read scriptures to them. My grandmother or my mother would cook fresh cookies or cake that I was able to take. But I had an experience where one lady, or I would say Miss Williams, she passed away. I got very attached to her, and it was devastating when she passed away. So I didn't go back, right? And I never thought about an Eartha White again until my third career, because I'd had a career of working at the Federal Reserve Bank, and then I worked at UF. 4 jobs. United Way. And then I got an opportunity to get a job at Clara White Mission. And it's just funny how life comes around full circle. You don't know why and what. And I thought about earlier in my career, when I was in high school, I had a chance, we had this program called Business Leaders of America, and I had a job at the City Hall and their senior program, right? And so when after that, I got a job with United Way as well. So anyway, the reason why I say all of this is because these programs have helped me be and prepare me for the person I am today.
Yes.
You know, having the feeding program at the mission and working with the senior program with the city and just all my other community activities with the Urban League and the Junior League. And, you know, it was very diverse for me. So when somebody asked me if I knew somebody or did you know how to do it, I was like, oh yeah.
First lady, that's what I say. She is Miss Jacksonville, okay?
It was just so fun to just give back, you know, in the community, especially, you know, that was one of the reasons why I ran for office as well, because I got sick and tired of seeing, you know, especially our African American communities and people not being able to speak up on city council. So I'm more of that person who has humility and humanity part to help my colleagues understand when, you know, a lot of them have businesses, they haven't really been down grassroots. And for me to be able to talk about what I do at the mission, or they've been there for some event, they have a little bit more empathy, you know, to help people and understand, or when we're looking at legislation when it comes to the homeless or food insecurity communities. So I'm just so grateful that where I am in my life, I'm comfortable in my skin. And, you know, there has been challenges, but at the end of the day, you know, I know God will take care of me because He's the one who opened the door and developed the journey for me. And, you know, sometimes people try to make you feel like you're not good enough or what you're doing, but I have no issue with that. You know, and I will speak up.
That's right.
And that's what we should do.
Absolutely.
You know, not bow down, but be able to show this is what I've been able to do in the community.
I love it. I love too how you said the full circle, and even in those seasons of uncertainty, like you said, you think you're going to do this, but you do this. I was that same way. I think I changed my major 4 times and still, even after graduating, went back and still, you know, but it's like, it just reminds me of that scripture where God says, I will give you the desires of your heart. He gives you what to want. And you as a child, not knowing your name connected to Eartha White forever. He knew I need to put this in her because that's going to be the driving force for this type of, you know, work. And so I wanted to ask you this question because you're such a compassionate, loving person. You have, again, if you've not met Councilwoman Pittman, your energy, your aura, your spirit. That's the bottom line. Your spirit is so genuine and it's contagious. It makes you have a way of making people want to get plugged in. I mean, literally right before the show started, I said, what can I do? Because I want to do more, you know, that does encompass things that I'm passionate about as well. And I have maybe a list. This is a modified list. And I'm so excited to delve into the list. But what would you say would be a method that one can use to really instill that level of compassion, especially whenever you're trying to cultivate relationships that are necessary for change in the community? Because you've done that so masterfully, which is why, again, if you just say your name in a moment, oh, absolutely. Because you have cultivated those types of relationships and people take that for granted that, no, I'm not, just because you have this cause, I'm not going to write a check or I'm not going to show up. Who are you? Right. So if you could just speak to that.
You know, you asked me earlier, you know, how do I get involved? And I think it's just from a child, you know, when maybe my mother or my grandmother didn't go to church on that Sunday, I would go down the street, you know, to a church on the corner. And I can't even not remember where I wasn't involved. You know, I think those, my life early on, my life was very impressionable, and it was developed. Those things that my mom or my grandmother wasn't able to do, they poured into me, right? And so, you know, I was in the band, I was a cheerleader. Every time the church doors opened, I would be there. And so even today, I think about my life as a whole. And I did the same thing with my children.
Yeah.
You know, you want to pour into them, but you also want them to experiences, some challenges, so they will know how to build on their life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I meet people, because I feel the same way, if I'm talking to you, I want to be the most important person that you're talking to, not you looking off or anything.
Right.
And so, you know,
Engagement.
very much engaged in what I've done in my life, and so I continue to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not anything that I think about, you know, the compassion, the spiritual belief, you know, that I believe in and that I share. And for me, I feel like what God has for me is for me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And, you know, doing all the things that I can while I can, because, you know, life is not promised.
Right.
You know, a lot of my classmates that I went to school with, they're no longer here, you know, and so when I close my eyes, I want to make sure the work that I've done made it speak for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I go to sleep at night, I go to sleep with something about how to raise money for the mission or whatever organization that I'm in, but I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, when you're not comfortable, God will make you uncomfortable.
Right.
And you can't always say, oh, the devil did that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
sometimes it's just to get your attention because you're doing so much for everybody else and you're not really taking time for yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm at that point now and age where I understand, whereas before, you know, I was career oriented, and I just felt like I need to be at everything.
Right.
And you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
how do you make that determination, though?
well, you know, there's certain things that I love doing, and it's not anything that's a hardship to do. It's just part of my life, part of my engagement, right? But I like to do a lot of things. And so those things make me happy. You know, one of the things, even with some of my colleagues, every other week, we just go out and have dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes we as people, especially if we're professional women or men, you know, you're so busy trying to make sure that you're trying to do the right thing, or you're trying to do what the boss wants you to do and do a little bit more, right? But there's a certain part of your life that it doesn't call for that.
Right.
You know, we want the big house, the car, and you're not happy until you get those material things.
Right.
But when you get the material things,
Then
it's
what?
not, what's the next thing, right?
Yes.
So I've been through all of that,
Yeah.
and I just want to be a servant of God.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I am in my life,
Yeah.
whether it's at City Council or whether it's at the Clara White Mission, and I'm coming out the mission and I see the homeless on the sidewalk and they want to talk. I'm gonna make time to talk to them. You know what I mean? Because I lived in public housing when I was young, and I never thought that I would be where I am right now. But there was someone that saw something in me to say, I want to mentor you, or I think this is where you need to be, or this is where you need to volunteer. And all of that has developed the person that I am, and I'm just proud to be here. And so what I'm supposed to do is give that back.
Right.
You know, today we had that conversation earlier. I could have said, well, you know, I really don't know what you need to be in, what you're interested in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you give choices and options to help people because you don't know where they are in their life.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so that's what I do. And
I love it.
You know, it's just amazing. Even as a senior adult, you know, I have junior senior moments, and I feel good when I talk to young people like you that I want to continue to grow.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to get set in my ways. I want to be able to identify you and say, you know what, I think you would be a good speaker for this program. You know what I mean?
And it seems like that is the fuel because it is a cycle. The more that you're giving out, the more you want to get, you know, you receive.
Right.
And it just the give and take, give and take, give and take. So it's almost like that is where the enhancement of the relationship would come in, where you're giving back and saying, hey, I think this is something that you should plug into. And you know what? I think I want to re-plug into that too. Yeah. And so there's that reciprocity that continues on, and the people that are coming up behind us that see that type of drive and compassion that we have, and it continues on. Because I mean, that's the thing that one of my missions right now in giving back to the community is to be that model, but to be a directive as well, to say, not only am I doing this, but this is something else that you can do, giving that charge to move forward.
Or just having, you come shadow for
yes,
a
day.
Volunteer. A lot of people don't do that anymore, but that's the only way that I feel exposure. That you exposure, right? And once I leave the seed, or, I retire from the mission, I want somebody to come behind me and pick up exactly where I left off. And I'm going to give you a guideline to do that, so it won't be hard for you.
Yes. Well, if you are just now tuning in, you are listening to the In the Know radio show with your girl, Michellita, and I have live in the studio, the one and only Councilwoman Ju'Coby Pittman. We are going to listen to one of her songs. I always ask my guests to give me a couple of other inspirational songs or go-to songs, because when life is lifing,
I like the way you say that.
Yes, when life is lifing and there's nobody available to you to talk to vent to encourage you, music, oh man, it's such the soundtrack of our life. And one of the songs that you chose was Smile by the one and only Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Tell us, why is that one of your go-tos?
Well, I just think
and you have an incredible smile, so
it
makes sense.
I want to feel good all the time. And when I listen to that song, it just reminds me of life. No matter what happens in life, you're in control of your own life. You know what I mean? And so to have a song like that represents my life and what I like to see other people doing, it provides an opportunity for me to really understand. Because sometimes you can't understand. You need a song, that
to explain.
Exactly. So that's kind of why I like that song.
I love it. So enjoy "Smile" by Tasha Cobbs Leonard. I love this song. Oh, I used to sing this song. Oh, hey Tam. Who else we got here? Hey Markello. Hey Tressa. Hey Uncle Jeff. Hey Candace. Hey LaFera. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We hope you are enjoying the conversation. You did the same thing my mommy did.
Oh girl, I didn't
with these headphones. So this was like this. It's gonna feel so much more comfortable. So you want it to be like that.
I had it the other way.
Yeah. But my mom did the same thing, because you just do like, as long as you can hear yourself. It didn't disrupt how you sound. Just for your comfort.
Mama say what?
I was like, well, I didn't know. Like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, when you put it back on, just like that.
Okay, thanks.
This is so great. So when we come back from the break, we'll talk a little bit more about the Clara White Mission. Okay. And then just some ways that people can actually get plugged in. How people can get plugged in to the mission and volunteer. And if they know people that may be able to benefit from the Clara White Mission, how they can kind of get plugged in. And then the final part will be coming up on Black History Month. Why is it important for us to really kind of amp up what our missions are, highlight African Americans in the community, and just kind of your take on things that you do during the month just to celebrate, So, yeah. This is great.
So what, we got about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, you're good. Okay. But that is so neat. Wow, as a child, that was your first volunteer at Earth Hawaii.
Isn't that something?
And I loved it. I work in that population too. As a speech therapist, I work with elderly patients, which is my favorite.
Yes.
It's my favorite.
Well, like I said, I never knew that I would be doing that kind of work. Yeah. But when I think about it, everything, even that I do for the homeless, is almost the same. If I had not had that experience, I wouldn't have, in terms of experience, with that. Working for the city, in the program when I was in high school, I had a chance to do menu planning and all kind of stuff. Wow. So, which allowed me to do what I'm doing now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, learn
down to
a
the
lot.
menu planning. Now, is that something we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Because we got the whole chef and all that
Okay.
kind of stuff. We'll talk about that. And I'm going to get back there. I want to bring Mila there so we can do the tour of the museum upstairs.
Yes.
I definitely want to do
Yes.
that. Yeah. And that was Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Some respect on that name.
Okay.
Smile. Such a beautiful song. Oh man, I love when this happens because we sometimes can take for granted songs that we know. Oh, I used to sing that song. Oh, but to hear it, here I present my life to you. Man, I present my song to you. Like it really places things back in order and in perspective. Helps you to do that evaluation of like, now did I really do that for you? Or was that for me?
Right.
Was this really what you want me? So what a great song. Thank you. I'm gonna add that back to my playlist.
Okay, please
oh
do.
My goodness. So we're gonna talk a little bit more now about the Clara White Mission.
Yes.
Oh man, if you've not been to the mission, shame on you. But it's okay, there's grace for that too. It's such a beautiful facility.
Yes.
The museum upstairs, the veterans apartment area. I mean the work you've done, it is stellar. And again, it makes so much sense, the accolades that you have. And I think it just bears witness to, again, the compassion that you have and how we can, as residents in our city, get more information on how we can really let other people know about the community and those who may be able to benefit from the services. So what is the mission? And in short, the mission in history, because it's long. You can go on the website to the ClaraWhiteMission.org. But just from your heart and because you, again, are just immersed in that mission, what is the overall mission in history?
Well, you know, it's 121 years old. It was started by a mother and daughter team. And it is a one-stop shop to addressing social issues in the community. And that's from homelessness, veteran services, apartments, housing, I should say, training in culinary arts and janitorial environmental. And our newest initiative is a farm. We have a 10.5 acre farm in the urban core.
I love it. How would what's the process of a person being a recipient of the benefits of the mission? What does that look like?
All you need to do is show up. You know, we feel like if people didn't need services, they wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Right? So that's from the homeless to low income to working parents who just need a little help or a little shot in the arm. That's what we do. We feed the homeless. We also provide transitional housing to the veterans, which give them a whole breadth of services that they need to get their life back.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And of course, we do the farm because it has nutritional food. Because a lot of the neighborhoods that the mission is in, they don't have fresh produce or they don't have grocery stores, and they end up buying a lot of food that's not
processed
food. And you know, we can't expect people to come give it. We got to work together to give it and go where people are.
And the quality of the meals, the quality of the service, the quality of the care that's given, because it's not we want them to come in and leave the same way.
Right.
Like you're literally planting seeds
Right.
of hope, planting seeds of transformation, planting seeds that they can be more. They
Absolutely.
can still dream and hope
Absolutely.
for a better life. And so that dietary part is so huge, because what we're consuming in our bodies is enabling us to think more, to be able to move better in our bodies. So you guys have a culinary arts program that is impeccable there. Can you tell us about that?
So when a student first starts, we do a individual plan for them when they first come and once they graduate. And so and we see a lot of students who've never finished anything in their lives, right? So that person that you meet in the very beginning may not be the person that you end up with.
Yeah.
And what we do is we provide Serve Safe, which allow them to work in restaurants, even some hotels, because we do janitorial and environmental services. We give them both, because if you can't get a job in culinary, you might be able to get a job in a hospital, or something like that. And so Dr. White, those are one of the enhancements to help people improve themselves and their skills, right? And so we continue to provide those opportunities because a lot of people need it, or if they have a background, a lot of organizations, they can't get that second chance.
Yeah.
So the Clara White Mission is a safety net to help people where they are, and it may mean you start your own business, or your catering business. So I'm just glad that the opportunity is there, and it takes money, to run that.
Absolutely.
And we have grants, but as you know, we had an event a few weeks ago.
It was incredible, and you had a guy that came up and did the testimony about going through the program, and now he's an entrepreneur doing well.
Yes,
very well.
Yes, making a lot of money.
He's making money. The green is coming in. I mean, and that's a product of this mission. So those of you out there, you just got a whole lot of money. You don't know what to do with it. The Clara White Mission is an incredible place for you to invest and to sow, because you're sowing into a community and beyond.
Absolutely.
Families and lives changed daily because of this initiative and this mission. Now, in what ways does the urban farm, the farm is so cute. I love it. And where it is, it's just mind-blowing. And it's a game changer for that community. Tell us about Earth's Farm and Market and how it's contributing to the community.
Well, it is an opportunity where it's a hand up, not a handout, number one.
Yeah.
And it is in a community that is a food desert community, and it allows the residents to come and learn, because before I learned about organic, a collard green was a collard green.
It was a green,
right?
right?
But I have staff and partners like Blue Zone who want to come and enhance and make the community a transformation where you have the assets that you need in your community, right? And that's from exercising to learning how to cook healthier for your children. It's if you have a grandmother that's raising their grandchildren, we want to be able to provide services where not just the kids learn how to cook healthy or eat healthy. We want the grandparents or the parents to do that as well. And where we're located is in Moncrief, right in the middle. It is a historical site. It's 10.5 acres where, we grow collard greens. We have a herb garden. We have bees. We have chickens. And we have a farmer's market on Saturdays from 10 to 3. We have workshops.
So that's today. You got about 2 more hours to go out there and get your goods.
I guarantee you, once you go there, you will come back. It's located at 4850 Moncrief. You can't miss it. It's a
beautiful sign right off the street.
Right. Awnings and wrought iron fence, so you can't miss it. And it was a little challenging at first because I guess a lot of the people didn't think we got a farm in the middle of the urban core.
Right.
I mean, what who does that,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
But it is right in an area that's needed because down the street there's a park, which is Clanzell Brown Park, and then you have a lot of apartment complexes. We have at least 5 that are in close vicinity of the farm, and then we have activities for kids. Like right now we have PAL, Kids Hope Alliance, that provide field trips for kids to come to the farm. We have schools like Northwestern, that's what everybody knows that at, and St. Clair Evans. So we are engaging the community. The market has been open for about a year and a half. And
that went by fast.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
I remember the ribbon cutting of that.
Yeah, it just everything passed by. We're getting ready to have an event next month with some of the staff and the workers that's there, and the chef that used to run cookbook. So he is coming to provide a meal. And the tickets are only $100, but if you buy 2, you get it for $150. So, get a little discount. But you don't want to miss. It's an opportunity.
When is this event?
It is February the 10th.
March 10th?
February
10th.
I'm doing Black History.
I'm thinking, Michellita.
You're moving too fast.
Too fast, not on purpose, I promise.
If you want, more information, you can go to Eartha's, Dr. Eartha's Farm and Market, and it's on TikTok. Well, I guess we don't have TikTok, but on Facebook, where you can get additional information and get plugged in. We have vendors, so you have a specialty that you would like to sell your goods. Right now, we're opening up for new vendors, and you get free. It's free for about, I think Sarah told me, about 4 months. And then after that, you pay a little something to help the Clara White Mission and Eartha's Farm and Market.
That's a great deal.
It is.
Oh my goodness, especially those who have small businesses or products that they're wanting to try out. That's a great place. I love what you said earlier about the farm having those programs for all generations.
Absolutely.
And so, and thinking about, because my grandmother, she's 89. She just turned 89 last week. I'm like, wow, thank you, Lord, for longevity in our family. But whenever you're talking about organic and a new way of cooking, I'm sure there probably is a little pushback.
It is.
Of like, well, this is the way we do it. I don't need anybody to tell me how to cook or what I need to put in my body. So what are some other, what's some of the language that may be used during those programs to kind of get a little bit more buy-in? Because we want our elderly to live longer, and we know the root of it is food. And food prep too.
When you know better, you do better. And having examples of, a senior cooking healthier or a dietitian cooking healthier. And when you taste an eggplant and most are like eggplant, but if you put it, in plant-based food as well, right? So, but when you say plant-based, you got to be able to say, we're cooking different for your temple that you have to make sure, if you eat this will help with your heart. Or if you eat squash or string beans in a casserole or something, this might help with your high blood pressure. Or you can go to our herb garden and get some turmeric. You know what I mean? So it's just being exposed. And a lot of times when kids are eating, you can take something like a bran bread, and put, maybe some type of like a peanut butter or something on it, because that's something that they like, right? Or some jelly, and be able to introduce it, just try it first before you say it. I think, kids, sometimes they don't want to sit unless they see another kid eat it,
social eating. That's my daughter. She's a social eater. I want it. But the friends are eating. Oh, mommy, I want. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So that helps to see. Okay, you try first. What are their responses? Then maybe I'll try it. But you said that so eloquently in terms of the language and pairing. We're gonna eat this way so we can lower the blood pressure. We're gonna eat this because it's gonna contribute to your heart. So having that literal language for all generations definitely puts that stamp of like, okay, this is something that I need to really consider.
Or you will preserve your teeth. You don't have to get braces.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and we do it through music as well. You mentioned that earlier today.
Yeah.
So, you know, doing the workshops that we have or doing the market, we're always playing music. There are special events that we have talent, and we highlight the different schools or organizations or dance groups to come. And then after you're entertained, then you come and you learn, you know, how to eat healthier and even how to give back. You know, where you can grow a small garden in your backyard and, you know, grow the collard greens, or, you know, grow strawberries or grow berries of some sort, or oranges. You know, there's so many fruits that are healthy, and be able to talk to you about the benefit of eating healthier.
Now, do people volunteer there as well?
Absolutely. You can volunteer, and we also have rows that you can rent out. And, you know, you and your family, like you and your daughter, if you all wanted to come over and purchase a row, and you come and take care of it, and we will show you. We have staff.
I love that.
Yeah. Or you want to give a gift to, you know, your best friend, and you name it after the best friend, or, you know, you all work together as a family, like your mom and auntie, like your cousin, you know, wrote that song. But again, just getting the family engaged, because you're always looking for gifts for families.
Absolutely.
And everybody got everything that
we got everything.
You know what I mean?
We got everything. So now we can do things that are going to go again beyond us, but we can put our name on it.
That's right.
We like that personalization. That's mommy's row right there. Neela, that's your row.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I love that. Oh my goodness. So Clara White Mission does plethora of things, but does it also offer things for mental health?
So the mental health that we do have is for our veterans who live there. We have an NA and an AA program as well. We have staff who either have been a client of the mission, and now some of them work for the mission. They either went back to school or they're working in some capacity of the mission. And so when you have that, a lot of times they will talk with those individuals that have had the experiences that they have. So I try as a CEO to go down there and be observant. I do surveys with them to find out, are you benefiting from being here at the Clara White Mission or at the program? And if you could do something to help change, what would you recommend for us to do? We have some of those clients that have served on our board of directors before, and our efforts is to always look for funding, whether it's a year grant or if it's your organization doing a fundraiser. Like today, we have a car show that they came down to share with the veterans who live there and the homeless, right? And they prepared lunch for them as well. So, you know, to have...
It's a one-stop shop.
It is, really. It really is. And it's not for what Ju'Coby wants, you know, for the organization. It's what the client needs.
Yes.
And a lot of times people think, oh, we know what's best for them. You really don't.
You gotta ask them.
Exactly. You know, and
they're the recipients.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my good, this is great. We're gonna have you. Will you come back?
I will.
Will you come back? We're gonna
dress up for you again,
baby, because I'm still just looking at her. My cheeks hurt from just smiling because you look incredible. We're gonna listen to one more song. I tell you, the hour goes so
I know.
quickly.
It feels like it's been like 15 minutes.
I'm telling you. So we're gonna do one more song. I'm gonna let you choose, okay? Because you gave me 3 others. You are able. Jonathan McReynolds. Total Praise, Richard, and then Won't He Do It, Kay Hawthorne. Which one? They're all so good.
More than able.
More than able. So we're going to hear that from, why is that? I love that song. I know why I love it. Why do you
know why you love it? Tell me why you love it.
Because he's that.
That's right.
He truly is that. Like we can put him, we come so meek, right, before God, and sometimes we're a little bit too meek when he says come boldly.
Yes.
And so
and as you are
with all this stuff, because he already knew you were going to have this stuff, and he exceeds that
every
all
time,
the time.
more than once, more than twice. It just keeps going over and over. And you think about the faith.
Yeah.
You know, how much sometimes you feel like, God, I'm just so tired. I can't do this no more. And he gives you the faith, the greatness, and prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I was like, God, this is too hard.
Too hard.
You know? And you feel like your back is against the wall sometimes, but
he's
it's
right
really
there.
not.
Yeah.
He's waiting on you.
Wait,
you
he's
know?
like, I need you to feel the weight of this so you can give it to
That's
me.
right.
Because I'm going to be the one
I
that's going
got
to work
you.
it out.
Because we're always trying to work it out.
Man, and that's the problem.
That's it.
But we're going to talk about how we're not doing that in 2025.
Oh, I'm doing it
We
in 2025.
thrive in 2025. So we're going to listen to a little bit of the song You're
Yes.
Able by Jonathan McReynolds. I love it. I want to hear about how you are taking care of yourself, that self-care.
Yeah.
Because I'm so glad we're in this new era of mental health and self-care. Because I feel like, and I know for me, now that I make it a priority, the more it shows me how much I didn't do that and how much has suffered as a result of that. And so I think about women like you that are just, you have these high stress level jobs. But you kind of alluded to it a little earlier when you said, I'm a little older now. So some things that
Mama can't do.
Mama can't and does not want
And I'm not.
to. I can, but I choose not to.
Right.
That no is very strong.
Because if I'm paying you,
Yeah.
I don't need a reason to pay you if I got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas before, I wanted to do it and then I wanted to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
But if you step in all the time, you don't need them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell myself that all the time.
Wow.
If I gotta do it, I don't need you to do it.
Yeah.
I need to go be raising money. I don't need to be doing stuff inside. I don't need to be doing no admin stuff.
You speaking of me. My friend on told me, Michellita, it's time to give an assistant. It's time to get some help. It's time. And I'm like, you're right. I need some help with some of the
And you
things.
don't realize it because it comes first nature to you. Just
To do it all.
You just do it.
But then you got, at the end of the night, you just
Baby,
like,
that's right. You can't even do anything.
Nothing.
But I have been so proud of myself. I get home early. I go to bed early. I hang out with friends more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it'll be there.
I was going to say, my friend of mine told me that. He's like, they call it a job because it really never ends.
Right.
Like there really isn't an ending to work.
It's not.
So what you can do in those hours allotted for that task, you can do what
But
you
they don't.
can.
But see, they're not in our space. Our
Yeah.
friends are. They
Yeah.
think they know, but you got to go beyond all of that because expectations, and you got to be ahead in case something happens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you can't tell. Well, I can't pay y'all because the grant didn't come. And
But that ain't nothing to do with me. I need
That's
to
right.
pay this bill paid.
That's right. Mr. Ja'Coby, don't play with me. I like you and everything, but I need my money.
So you've had to be really strategic
Very.
in putting those parameters in place
Yes, ma'am.
to secure and protect that self-care.
ma'am.
Because it's like it doesn't change. The job has to get done.
Right.
And I am the one
Right.
that's running it. So
Right.
I do have to make sure
Right.
I'm being very strategic. Yeah.
And it's hard,
Yeah.
because it's just so much and so many people depending on you,
Yeah.
But you got to do better. I think for me, 2025, I've learned to just take a little bit at a time instead of get it all done.
Yes.
And then I start the next project, the next stuff,
Yes,
get it all done.
right,
and,
right.
and that's not healthy for you. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, he likes that song.
What are you doing over there?
You like that?
He enjoying the song. Oh my goodness, he is able time and time and time again. He proves himself faithful to fulfill the promises and to meet the needs. So listen, whoever's out there, you're a little stressed, you worry, you're concerned, you don't know how it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He is more than able to work those situations out for your good. And again, if you are just now tuning in, hopefully not, because it's 1:51 and the show came on at 1 o'clock. But I know how the radio world is. You're listening to the In the Know radio show with your girl, Michellita, and I have in the studio Councilwoman Ju'Coby Pittman. We've had such an intriguing and engaging, insightful conversation about the work that she has done in our community, especially via the Clara White Mission and the farm that we have right off of Moncrief, all of the different initiatives. But we were talking off air, and this is so important, especially as Black women generally, but Black women, we put this cape on, you know, we do all the things. We can do all the things. We may not want to do all the things, but we still do it. And so thankfully, we have embraced the new era of self-care and being self-full. Some even say selfish. I say it on the lighter end of the spectrum, meaning you're really selfish in making sure that you're protecting yourself, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, all of those types of things, not neglecting the needs of others, but you're just making sure that you're being so in tuned with your mind, your body. So what are some ways that you take care of Ju'Coby?
Well, Ju'Coby goes and get her hair done.
Come on, and baby, the hair is cute.
Yeah,
His curls is popping.
Okay, see them.
They're so pretty.
I get my nails done.
Yeah.
I get a massage once a week.
Come on.
Get my nails done. And, you know, this weekend, one of my friends is having a birthday party. And normally I would try to drive back to Jacksonville. I'm not going to do that.
That's right.
I have booked me a hotel.
Come on.
I'm going to stay there tomorrow and have breakfast and, you know, tour and just take care of me.
What was the change in your mind to say, this old way of getting stuff done is not working for me anymore?
Just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Come on.
You know what I mean? When I get home at night, I have no energy, or I work extremely late. Like we were talking, we're only competing against ourselves. You know, and so I'm getting older. I want to stay healthier. I want to be around, and when I retire, I do not want to be sick. You know what I mean?
And she's gonna be wearing these boots, baby, because the boots is about 3 to 5 inches. So she's stretching it out so the fashions can continue.
And I love the shop.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
Miss St. John's.
Yes.
And, you know, I've worked long enough. I deserve it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that's where I am in my life. And there's nothing wrong with taking care. You know, for years, we never talked about mental health and what's good, or your family used to say, oh, don't talk about them because we keep everything in the family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a lot better, even with these kids nowadays. We have to start now.
We have to.
Them.
And we got to model that for them and normalize slowly.
Say it again.
Normalize. Because I'm a product of that. My daughter, she's 3. Now, granted, 3.5-year-olds, they're just busy, period. But she shows me that I need to slow down more.
That's right.
Because I will be in the house and she'll just be one room. I'm like, Mila, sit down. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, Michellita, sit down.
That's right. That's right. They
So
emulate
they
what they
truly
see.
do.
You do.
So, man, that's so important. But Black History Month, we are a week away.
Yes.
Tell us quickly, where should we be and what should we be doing?
At the Clara White Mission.
That's it.
So, actually, our founder, Dr. Eartha M. White, lived at the Clara White Mission on the 2nd floor. So we have all of her historical items there. We actually have her documents that are there, and we have our museum director, Adonica Toller, and Mrs. Stewart, Lydia Stewart, and they actually take care of all the tours that we have. We have family reunions there, and it's located at 613 West Ashley Street, and we do tours from 9 to 3:30. If you need, you know, after hours, we can arrange that as well. But it's just, you know, such an opportunity to have this one-stop shop and be able to also cultivate and embrace the history that we have in the La Villa community. Yeah. And so we would love to share this with you. $5 whole, and the $5 whole buy 2 meals for the homeless.
Look at there.
So everything that we do, all the funding that we get, it goes to all of the programs.
Sounds like a great group trip.
Yes.
All families, girlfriends trip. We can get cute, go to the museum. Yes. We're seeing where the money is going and giving back. Bring the children out there. Absolutely. Because again, they need to be able to see, gosh, all of the work and how far this mission has come, and just even plant that seed in them to know this is some things that you can do to contribute to your community.
Absolutely.
Man, and more now than ever, we need to make sure that we're making a lot of noise during the month of February.
Yes.
Because Jacksonville has so many pillars in the community, so much talent, so many great businesses. We need to make sure we're patronizing our businesses anyway, but more than anything during the month of February.
And helping Black businesses. You know, we need to bring economic development back to our communities, and especially those small businesses that need support.
Yeah.
Come and support them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's $10, $15, they have to pay the light bill.
That's it.
They have to purchase product.
Yes.
You know, and just because it may be in a low income area doesn't mean that you don't have to come.
That's right.
To the community instead of going across the bridge.
That's right.
And I know y'all can read between the
We
lines
know
of that.
exactly
You know
what
I mean?
you're talking about.
Come to the farm. And both of our sites are historical sites.
Yeah.
At the farm, we have Miss White's first house and the first African American museum.
Okay.
Clara White Mission is the oldest mission in the state of Florida. Wow. She was also one of the, well, not one, but the millionaire, first Black woman. So y'all gotta come. This is just so hard to tell y'all all this stuff I got.
Thank you so much for being here today.
You're
and
welcome.
Thank you all for tuning in to the In the Know radio show. We made 20 today.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And make sure that you tune in on next Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Make it a beautiful day. In the know, in the know, in the know. Hey, thank y'all so much for watching. I'm telling you, the live is going to be going away soon, but I'm glad you were able to tune in with us today. Thank you again.
You're so welcome.
And
Give me a hug, baby. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, we will see y'all next week. Bye.
In the know, in the know, in the know. In the know, in the know, in the know. This is the place to be. Turn your radio station to victory. Where the spirit of the Lord is liberty. Tune in to the station that set you free. Woo! We going up right now. Please tune in, don't touch that dial. We so blessed that you wanna know how. Not talking, we just living out loud.